Hello everyone, and welcome to the first series that I'm going to be playing on my YouTube channel. And this series will be on the game Dead Cells. And so this game is pretty heavily inspired by games like Dark Souls. I mean, it shares a very similar name with Dark Souls, Dead Cells, Dark Souls, you know. Also shares a lot of influences from Metroidvania style games, but all wrapped up into the rogue-like setting, so everything's procedurally generated. Once you die, you start all over again. And I've played about 2 hours of this game, and it's quite fun. The controls are really tight and clean. Everything just seems quite amazing for a game that's still in early access. And so I'm off for summer vacation from college, and I figured why not start up a YouTube channel, do some stuff, goof around. Been thinking about doing this for a while, just thought it was time to finally do it. This game came out about a week ago, so there shouldn't be too many huge YouTubers covering this, so I feel like I can get a little bit of market share in there, you know. You gotta think about growing your channel and stuff, you know. But thinking I'll just start up a new run. And so I've deleted all the data that I've built up, and so this is what the game will start up. You decide to start playing this. And so that little pile of cells that was rolling around was us, and now we have inhabited this corporeal form, you know, and we have a couple different move sets. Like we can roll with B. This is an invincibility roll, so like even if an enemy hits us while we're rolling, we don't take damage. We have a double jump. We can we have a single weapon right now, which I'm controlling with the X. It's just the sword. A bunch of swings. You can just swing in the air, you know. If you can stop your roll short with the swing and stuff. But let's get over here, and so you can either open doors in this game, and eventually they'll close, or you can break open doors. When you break it open, it can stun enemies that are right next to it. Here's a dude. Lost your head now, did we? Me? Yeah. Well, nothing to say for yourself. Oh, well, yes, I see the problem. Suppose you didn't think to find yourself back here. But surely, you must have noticed. You can no longer die. Well, I guess we can no longer die then. You still don't understand? It was like this with the others for a while. What? I don't know any of the others. Whatever. You can do better than this. You can do better than this. Okay, that's all he's going to say to us. And so this is our first decision. What's our secondary weapon going to be? We can take a shield. We can block. Or we can take a bow. It's range attacks, you know. I prefer the shield. I'm not great with the shield because the amount of time you have that you actually block enemy shots are like pretty short. So I'm not great with the timing of that. But I tend to just be more of a roll guy, roll around, you know. I also break open the doors all the time. So this is like the first enemy that we see here. Oh, well. We got hit already. And so those guys shoot arrows. These guys can jump and slash. And there's not a ton of different enemies in this game. But the amount of different combinations of like room layouts and stuff, they really can like diversify things without needing a bunch of different enemies. And so like those guys throw bombs. That's their only attack. You see it there, I stunned that guy. And those bombs will not hurt enemies. And what you just saw right there is if I jump and I hold like A and down, the jump button and down, I can like slam. And so I can either do like a small slam, which is like that, or if I get through a higher area, I do bigger slam. So this right here, this is a teleporter. So basically, since the levels are kind of sprawling and kind of go on for a long time, you can use teleporters to jump around, and they spawn like pretty like thoughtfully. Like you don't need to run around the whole time. You can teleport back if you miss something. And so since there are no other teleporters, we can't use this teleport anywhere. That makes sense. And then this is like, besides items, this right here is like the main way you like upgrade yourself in the game. You can get scrolls, which are scrolls like this, where you can have one of 3 options, or there's some scrolls where it just upgrades one of these individually. It doesn't give you the option for which one you want to choose. So I'm gonna upgrade health first, just get our survivability up. We can also upgrade strength, which makes our weapons deal more damage, or we can upgrade our skills, which we don't have any, which are bound to left and right trigger, but we don't have any right now. And those basically will be like stuff to like stun enemies, or like explosives we can throw. They all have a cooldown, like amount of damage they deal associated with them. And so that can like be really good, because I actually really like using items. That's the main way that I like try to do things. Like I'll get like a stun item, and it'll I'll stun enemies. I'll go and I'll like slash them up, you know. And then this is another way we can get like items. Is these little treasure rooms that spawn randomly. And right here, ooh, yeah, perfect example. So this item, it's Ice Grenade Mark II. It's 5 seconds recharge time. It freezes enemies. It freezes nearby enemies and inflicts 33 damage. That damage value is affected by the like the number next to the name. So Ice Grenade 2 deals 33 damage. All Ice Grenades 2s will do that much damage. But the text right below it saying damage plus 10% is like a modifier, I believe. And then the text below the enemies hit explode upon death is another modifier for this specific item. So it's like if I throw this, any enemies within that area will be frozen, and then they will. This is the pause screen. Yeah, they'll explode upon death, dealing 28 damage to any other enemies around them if they didn't die in that time. So like that guy's frozen. Eventually he'll break free of that, but he'll still be slowed. That's another weapon right there. That is. Oh, we have another thing. So. Oh, and so this is. So what blueprints are is essentially if you make it past this current level, there'll be a sort of an interim area that allows you to sort of get permanent upgrades. And if you bring blueprints to that room, those items can start showing up in future levels. But this item right here, the electric whip one, I don't really like the electric whip. I mean, it's an okay item, but it's not really like my kind of playstyle. I like swords kind of stuff. All I will say, I do really like the flavor text "Join the dark side," like a lightsaber, you know. And this right here, this thing, I can rub it. But basically, this is sort of a Metroidvania mechanic where eventually I will get an ability that allows me to interact with this, and then I can go to a different part of the map that I normally wouldn't be able to. But for now, all I can do is just rub it. Okay, and I can use the right stick to look around, so I can look around and see what this guy's up to. This guy's a shield, so anything coming from that direction, like the direction his shield is going to be completely negated. But all you have to do is like roll behind him, or just drop behind him, and he's pretty easy to deal with. Oh, so right here, this thing. It's this thing that I can hit right here. It has a little mark on it. It has secrets in it. So this secret had a carrot in it that gives me health. I'm actually pretty bad at missing those. So I hope you guys don't get too angry with me. You see, like, there's an item right there, and in my 2 hours that I played before this, I was never able to get this upgrade. But I believe it has something to do with being able to teleport a short distance from one to the other. So I could possibly get that item if I had that upgrade, but I'm not quite sure. And And so, at this point in time, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go up from this point. Actually, I can't, because if I can jump up here properly, and that was too tough. So this is another thing. This is another thing that's like the Metrovania. Eventually, I'll have a skill that will let me use that to do something. But for now, I'm just gonna go this direction. So I guess I should have used this teleporter to teleport to where I currently am. But it's fine. Those guys have a dash. And this door right here is a special door. It cannot be opened from here. That means there's usually a pressure plate somewhere nearby that'll let me like open it up if I find it. So there it was. So like they can be a little far away sometimes, but there, now that I stepped on that door is now open. And so this is a single upgrade. So unlike the other one where I get an option of 3, this one only gives me the ability to upgrade health, which is like pretty okay. I mean, upgrades in general are like pretty worth it, even if you just get like one you didn't necessarily want, because eventually you'll like just want to have all your things upgraded a lot, so it doesn't particularly matter. They're not like exceedingly rare or anything, as to where like if you didn't get the one you wanted, if you didn't get the upgrade you wanted, it'd be like, terrible or anything. So here is like a door that can open by gold. So I can spend 1,000 gold and open up this door and get that item behind it. And I will, because this item's like pretty okay. It replaces one of my abilities, so I'm not gonna have a shield anymore, but if I hold down Y, I channel for a little bit, this will freeze enemy in front of me. And it doesn't have a cooldown time, but the charge up is like a little bit. So like, if I find an enemy, so it froze them right there. And I don't know, I'm not a big fan of it, but I mean it has its uses. I don't know, I'd rather just use like my grenades and do stuff like that. Because grenades are like better, they're like instant. I mean they do have a cooldown time, but they're instant use. I don't have to charge it up at all. Okay, so that is the next level. And so oh yeah, in this game you don't take fall damage, but if you fall from a high distance, it's like you get stunned for a couple seconds. I'm gonna go this way, and here's a merchant. And so I could buy these stuff if I had enough cash, but right now I only have 830 gold, and so I don't have enough to buy. So I could buy like an amulet, because like of all the items you can have an amulet, but right now my amulet does nothing. It's prisoner's collar, sorry. And then I can have like my skills and my weapons, but I don't have enough to afford this. I mean, I already have a grenade, can't afford it though. I could buy a shield, can't afford that either. Or I can buy this bear trap, which is an item that like lets me sit down and like binds enemy in place and like stuns them for a little bit, I think. But for now I'm just gonna move on to the next level. Yeah, and yep. And so in this area you meet a dude. This dude. You again. Interesting. I am the collector, and I'm about the closest thing to company you will get down here. In exchange for cells, you pillage from your foes. I can provide you with a few useful items. If you uncover any blueprints, I may be able to provide you with some more experimental items. So those 2 blueprints right there, just let me get these so I can upgrade them later. But for now, the first thing that you have to upgrade whenever you start a new game is a healing potion. This will basically, once per level, you can just heal up a bunch. And so I now have a couple different upgrades I can do. Okay, I was just messing around with the Okay, so yeah, here's the different tabs you can go to that makes it a little more easier to see what's going on. Basically, these are sort of like, this tab is sort of utility upgrades. It's like nothing that's like overtly good, but from run to run, it'll really help you out. So like this is, whenever you die, you start your next run with 25% of the gold you have from your last run. So this one's really good since it's really cheap. It only has 5 souls required. I only have 4 more souls to invest. And so I could go for more damage oriented, and so I can upgrade individual items. So if I find, like, let's say electric whip on my next run, it'll be better. But I don't have enough cells. I don't have enough cells to fully upgrade it, and I don't really like upgrading individual items for now. So I don't think I'll really invest in these currently. And for these, I do like these upgrades because I tend to use like active items a lot. But for now, I think I'll just put some points into healing potion 2. And so even though I wasn't able to afford the whole thing, next time it will only need 56 out of 60 total. So it's just I'm investing it for future when I have more souls. Everything you buy in here is yours forever. Not even death can take it from you. Simply put, if you want more if you want more power, bring me more cells. Now, prisoner, out of my sight. Your presence is going tiring. So I can re-talk to him, but it doesn't do anything. Basically, this door, it'll stay locked if you still have cells, so they really encourage you to use all the cells that you've accrued from your last run in investing. So, in fact, you can't leave until you use all of them. And right here, it'll restore all of your health, and then if you... Actually, I'm going to do it right now. Here's the healing potion. It heals actually a lot. But, this thing right here, it'll fill up your healing potion, as well as heal you to full, if you're not already. So it's basically, you get to start every floor with full health and a full flask. It's nice. It'd make the game like really hard if it didn't do that. But, on to the next floor. So this area, on the promenade of the promenade? I don't know. But I know for a fact there is a secret over here that if you go on top of this building right here, you can find a weapon. Yep. A weapon blueprint. Sorry. That's something I just found in my last runs. I'm just trying to figure the game out. So, and then this right here, this is a special, if I can get down here, a special kind of door that it was sealed 7 minutes ago and 7 minutes, 54 seconds ago. Too bad. So basically these are time gated, so if you want to like speed run through the game, you can open these special doors. I have not tried to go through for this. Like I've not tried to go like get inside this door yet. But I just want to like get through the game the normal way before I try to start speedrunning it. But yeah, you really gotta rush for those. Like even on runs where I thought I was going quickly, like it was still hard to get to that with like more than or less than like 2 minutes on that clock. And so, oh, this is really nice. There's 2 things next to each other. I'll probably get 2 strength upgrades. Yeah, 2 strength upgrades. Yeah, because since I still only have my like rusty sword or whatever you call it from the beginning, I feel like I need to deal some more damage. These are just little reminiscent of Dark Souls kind of like elevator things. And so, oh, another shop. Can't afford either of these, but I think I would buy the flashbang if I can afford it eventually. It's pretty expensive, but it hard stuns enemies for like 3 seconds, and it's really nice. So I'm only going to teleport a short distance, but it's still like, you know, saves a little bit of time. And there's some like more jumping puzzle kind of things in this area where they introduce like spikes and stuff. And so basically, okay, so what this is like the only way to progress is to be able to interact with this. And so since I don't have that ability, they're going to give it to me this ability right here, but I have to fight a dude to get it. So it's like right down here. This is like the first kind of like boss fight kind of thing. And so this isn't the easiest thing ever, but it's like doable. There we go. See, he's like not too bad. But I mean, he still dealt some damage to me. But I'm gonna pick up this Vine Rune. And now this rune permanently gives you the ability to grow climbable vines. So first time I got this, I was like, whoa, I can just climb anywhere, but not quite. You can only use it specific spots, like right here, for instance. So you can like climb up whenever on those little goo piles. And so over here, I'm gonna climb up here. Check up here, see if there's anything. And I'm just gonna continue on. Okay, so these dudes right above me, these guys are a pain in the butt if they like start swarming you. But essentially what these guys do is once they aggro you, they can teleport to you and they attack fairly quickly, and they don't get like stunned when you like continually attack them. Which is like, I think that's the first enemy that does that, besides like the elite enemy we just fought. But yeah, those like gray dudes, like they attack pretty quickly. On these little bird things, they're pretty hard to, well, I mean, I hit it pretty easily there, but normally they're like pretty hard to hit unless you hit them early on. Because they tend to like just like sort of go away from you and like keep their distance. But I mean, none of the enemies are like insanely hard. It's not like you have a high likelihood of dying to any one enemy, like in Dark Souls, where you don't pay attention, you could just die. But oh, I see that rune, or the secret thing. But I mean, it essentially is like eventually gets tough enough to where they put enough enemies in to where like it actually becomes difficult. Basically, there's this thing. This guy doesn't attack me. Like this little target dummy thing doesn't attack me, but it gives a shield to enemies around it, so it can be pretty annoying. It's not like the shield like just blocks some damage; it makes them impenetrable while they have the shield on them, which is like kind of annoying. Okay, so we found my favorite weapon. This is the twin daggers. Basically, instead of dealing the same amount of damage every time, these daggers, they'll do normal damage for 2 hits, and then they'll do a critical blow on the 3rd strike. And it's and so this specific item has plus 25% damage on stunned target. So I don't have any abilities that stun a target, but if I got that flashbang that was back there in the shop, I could stun targets and deal some more damage. And so basically, you can roll under things that are like 1 block high. And so I can roll under these spikes. Okay, so I'm not going to open that because I'm saving up for flashbang. Even though having a second grenade, going like running double grenades is like pretty cool sometimes. Always having one up is like pretty good. But oh, there's an elite guy who just randomly spawned. So he's not going to give me any specific ability. But he's not going to give me any specific ability, but he's just a tough enemy that spawns. And a shield, yeah, I'll take a shield. So the greed shield blocks attacks and shakes out any loose gold from your enemy's teeth once per enemy, plus 30% damage when you successfully parry the enemy. That's what that means. It heals you when you parry once per enemy, burns enemies when you parry. Wow, those are some really good modifiers. I mean, I'm not the best at being able to parry, but I mean, those are some good modifiers. And oh, one thing for any elite enemies, basically when you get them down to like half health or like 2/5 health or something, they evolve and they become a little bit hard and they regain some of their health. Oh shit! You see those guys? Yeah. Okay. So that you saw that guy teleport right there. There we go. Okay. So because I parried him, I successfully blocked his attack. Got a gold tooth. So whenever I block an enemy attack, I get that gold tooth. Except for if they have a ranged ability, it won't count as blocking them, so I won't get the gold tooth. So like with archers and those bomber guys, if I block their ranged attack, it won't count as like blocking something. So I won't gain health, I won't set them on fire, and I won't get the gold in the case with this shield. Yeah, so with this jump, there's like no ledge you can stand on, so since I didn't hit the open button in time, I just fell in the spikes, so it was unfortunate. So I'm just gonna go down here, see what's down here. Oh shoot, I forgot that one. I forgot that when enemies are frozen, they can't, or when enemies have their shield on, they can't be frozen. And so I'm gonna hit left bumper and I'm gonna heal a bunch. That was me just using my like potion to heal. And so now that it's, now that I've used it, now that I use it, you can see the icon is like empty. And so like, even though, and so over here, you might be wondering, what's this door for? So this is basically an alternative path you can go. So I'm not quite familiar with the exact overall structure of how these things play out, but this, on this level, there's always going to be a door you can take like that you need vines to get to, and there's always going to be one that you don't need vines to get to. I've just been going to the one that you don't need vines because, I don't know, I feel like that's more like standard path to take. So I'm going to try. Alright, that was a little bit closer comfort, but I just try to take standard path because I feel like it's better. Or something, I don't know, I feel like it's like the normal ending, which I'm going to try to do first before I get to any secret endings or anything like that. Okay. I'm gonna freeze these dudes. I don't know, I was trying to hit left bumper instead of, or trying to hit right bumper instead of right trigger for some reason on that. Okay, I'm just trying to get my blocking like ability up. Like, not that there's an actual ability where if you block more, you get more experience in it or anything. But I just want to be able to block better from like a gameplay standpoint. Like a mechanic. Oh shit, that was unfortunate. Yeah, and then sometimes you can find these things that add to like the difficulty of a puzzle. And so like usually if there's like a small jumping puzzle, you'll find a teleport on either end, so you don't have to do it every time you want to cross. Oh, here's a little treasure, and that's nice. Let's see what we get. Bear trap. Fires a volley of arrows, temper damage per arrow. Immobilizes target for 5 seconds, increase damage done by 35%. I think I'll stick with my grenade, my frost grenade for now. I'm not a big fan of the bear trap. I always tend to forget to use it most of the time, honestly. But oh shoot, I gotta go get the thing. Okay. That was a little harrowing. I'm really liking this shield. Like, it's like burns them, it heals me. It's like gives me gold. It's real good. Oh, and here's the end of this level. So I can either, so normally I'll be going this way, but if you get this other ability on like a future level, you could assumably use this to teleport to the other one, and then you can go to the prison depths. But I have not been able to go there yet, so now I'm just gonna be using this. Ride this all the way up here, and then take this to the ramparts. So we're just gonna go to a very similar area where we're gonna talk to this dude. So I got all those blueprints. So if anyone that's saying new, if I invest enough into them, he will drop that weapon for me so I can start using it, test it out and stuff. But for now, I'm not going to use that. Instead, I'm going to invest all my points into trying to get the level 2 healing potion so I can use it for 2 charges. That's like dope as hell. But for now, I'm just going to use this. I'm going to heal up. And in all of my previous runs, I have never been able to make it past the ramparts because there's some tough rooms that spawn. This is the part where like it actually gets to be like, you have to be pretty mechanically intensive to like get through these areas. Okay, and so this area also introduced like pits where you can fall and you take damage. So just like in Mario Kart, if you go off the edge of the track, it'll bring you back and it'll slow you down. And this, if I like fell off this cliff right here, it'd deal damage, but I would spawn right back on this cliff. So it's not like insta death cliffs. That would be really annoying. But so I'm just gonna get past. And also, we're gonna have all the enemies we previously seen, but they're gonna have a fair bit more health. Be just tougher in general. And so this archer dude, he's gonna do more damage, and he's gonna have more health. Okay. Oh, and this dude, he shoots little lasers that sort of like line up with you, and then he shoots them, and then all of his things can like go through walls. So like that's kind of annoying. So if there's a bunch of them, of those guys around you, it can get real annoying real fast. Although I think we'll showcase like what he can do better in a little bit when he lives for a little bit longer. Ooh, okay. So this is like pretty good because one of these I was not able to afford one on the last. I might have been able to afford one last, though I probably just forgot about it. But what this does is the flashbang, 30% damage whenever the enemies are stunned, so I get more damage when they're stunned. +1 strength, so we haven't seen one of like those upgrade things in a while, but another way of getting those is as long as you have this item equipped, you get like +1 strength. It's like real good. And then plus 125% damage on burning targets. So I have no way of burning my targets, but if I was able to, it'd be like extra good. But for now, I'm just gonna press Y to swap these two, because I usually tend to keep the active item I use most on my right trigger, because I remember to do that. Okay, so this is good. I'll upgrade my health. So it's another time-sensitive door. It was sealed 17 minutes ago, so you really got to be rushing through this if you want to be able to do that. So there's another dude. So he fires like a laser, like it goes through walls. So like as you can see, he's not too bad if he's just by himself. But there's a bunch of him. He can like get real annoying real fast. So that restores 51 health, and since I don't have 51 damage I've taken, or like I don't have 51 missing health points, I'm just gonna leave that there and come back for it when I do have that much damage on me. Man, I've probably been missing secrets this whole time. I haven't really been checking. Oh, and those little flying bat dudes, oh, they're just so annoying. They tend to swarm you if you're not paying attention. And then these shield dudes, we see them back here, but they're a lot tougher this time. Yeah, these shield dudes. Okay, so I'm gonna try to wait. I'm just gonna take this moment to wait, and I'm gonna wait for these dudes to all be faced up in the same direction. Okay. Because if you throw like a freeze thing at a shield dude, if you hit his shield or like hit on the side of his shield, he doesn't get freezed. He doesn't get any status effects on him. Okay, so I'm just gonna teleport back up here. So sometimes you get that in like all the procedurally generated stuff, where it's just like you walk a little bit and there's nothing, but there is a teleporter most of the time. So it's like, think I'm not gonna go down there because I feel like I might just die. Because I might just end up in a like off the map. Okay, what is this there? Okay, so if I had a poison weapon, I probably want to take this one because plus 50% damage on poison target. Okay, so I've been taking a lot of damage, so I'm probably going to go back to get the carrot now. If I can remember where that was. Oh, it's right there. It shows me on the map, I didn't realize that. That's cool. So like carrots don't provide a lot of health, but they can really just like mitigate your like gradual health loss that you get from just fighting a bunch of enemies. What? I didn't. Oh shoot. Okay. So yeah, that's a pit of despair. So I could have made it down, but I don't know. I just didn't. Okay. Ooh, an item upgrade. That's cool. So this will increase the damage they deal as well as reduce the cooldown. So I'm gonna try to line these guys up so they take. I can like get them with one thing. I'm gonna want to heal here since I took a lot of stupid damage in that room. So these guys, yeah, these guys get annoying real fast when you have like 50 million of them trying to damage you. So this is probably going to be an insanely tough room for me. Okay, so I blocked that dude and healed a little bit. Okay, so this is going surprisingly well. Normally I would have died in one of those rooms, like on a previous run. But, I don't know, it seems as though I've gone a little bit better the game. Just overnight. Okay. So that's about as hard as I can do without dying. Just almost instantaneously. Okay. Here we go. Let me see. So I can get +1 skill, +1 strength. I think I'll just skip that for now. Because I don't really see a point in getting that. And like sometimes like that, as you saw, there's just a shop with no shopkeep. It's not like we can steal things from those. I thought about that for a while, but you can't do that. Oh shoot. Alright. Oh, yeah, if I had fallen. Alright. One thing I could have done there is if I double jump, I can then roll midair. I probably could have dodged that if I was thinking about it more. Okay, so this is the farthest I've ever gone, I think. But I'm just trying to, you know, get through this. Oh, and I think I had a problem for a while. Was like I thought it was like I can just jump up chains and get through chains easier, but I end up like getting stuck here for a while. And I was like I died a couple times because of that. So So I had to like roll through this like little one width thing. And oh, if you're also on the same tile as like a guy with the shield, you can fight him. I'm gonna try to block this guy. Yeah, just wanted to regain some health. Get a gold toothy now. See what's below me. Okay. Things seem to be going pretty decently well in all honesty. I can tell that this level seems to be a lot longer than, or a fair decent bit longer. Oh shit. Okay, so I have to be real careful here since I don't have any health healing things. So I basically have to take no damage from it at this point on. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to land on this guy and stun him in quick succession. Okay. Okay, you see, I died there. So lost 43 cells, so that's pretty unfortunate because that's a lot of cells, but I mean, you just start another game. And so you see that little pouch of coins right there is because I got the upgrade that's you get 25% of your previous gold at the beginning of this. So this guy, again, back already. Well, it doesn't seem to be going all that well for you. Have you noticed how everything seems a little different each time? You think the island is alive. I wonder if, what do you make of all this? So, this bag contains some of the gold from a previous life. So I got 931 coins, because that's 25% of my previous amount of gold. So he's just there. So the starting area looks a little bit different. Like, each time you, well, at least for the first 3 times, it looks a little bit different for the first 3 times. So again, I get the same choice between these two, and then it just starts all over again. But for now, I think I'm gonna end this recording, and I hope that if you like this video, you like or subscribe. I guess if you didn't like it, then you dislike the video. I mean, you can do whatever you want, you know, it's your life. But you'll probably see another video from me in about 2 days. I mean, I'm gonna continue recording, but you know, I gotta do other stuff, make sure content comes out. So for now, I think I'll just see you guys in the next video.